Greetings to you this day. This is Michelle Strickland. I'm coming to you today with my daily theology lesson. It's my daily meditation that I do for myself. I record it and I release it because maybe somebody else out there can get something out of it. It just so happens that I love God and I love theology. I want to study because I want to become a better principled person. Choose God this day. The bad guys, they sin. The good guys, we sin. We all sin. It's whom you serve. You don't have to be perfect. No one is. No one, You might have issues that you deal with for the rest of your life, but you come over to God's team with it. He can help you manage it and get through it. At least try to be better if you come to God's team, Love yourself. Because if you love yourself, if nobody else loves you, you'll be okay. And never give up on yourself. If you lost everything you have and you have yourself, you have everything, you can always rebuild, Never give up on yourself. I know it's difficult times. For those of you just tuning in, I focus on 3 major religious texts, the Bible, the Quran, and I'm in an introductory Buddhist paperback called The Shape of Suffering, and it deals with dependent co-arising. Without no this, there's no that, and everything we say and do has an effect on our senses. Excuse me, y'all. It's getting wintry. It's getting cold here. Like, it's going to be, like, in a couple of weeks, it could snow. It could snow. From this time on, it could snow. So, the temperatures is dropping quick. But at any rate, so, I'm back in the rotation for the Quran. I'm in a very interesting chapter. And it's chapter 4, and it's called The Woman. And I'm in section 2, Law of Inheritance. I don't want anybody to come after me in the comments about anything. Okay? This is my meditation, and I'm just recording it. It's my lesson. I'm recording it and releasing it because maybe somebody else out there can get something out of it. I thought that it would be interesting for me to go ahead and record this journey. I'm reading all these texts, word for word, all of them. And I'm not editing any words, and I'm not going to try to, I'm leaving them as they are. And whatever it says is what it says. And if it makes you uncomfortable, deal with it. It's not my words. I wasn't a scribe back then. I didn't write the text, okay? But I want to study them because I want to see what the differences are between the cultures and where's the problems coming in at. Plus, it's just good to see how people related to each other back then. You can learn from them situations they went through and maybe navigate your way through this life because of them stories too, Section 2. Law of Inheritance, verses 11 through 14. Allah enjoins you concerning your children, for the male is the equal of the portion to 2 females. But if there be more than 2 females, 2/3 of what the deceased leaves is theirs. Okay? And if there be 1, for her is the half. And as for his parents, for each of them is the 6th of what he leaves if he has a child. But if he has no child and only his 2 parents inherit him, for his mother is the 3rd. But if he has brothers, for his mother is the 6th, after payment of a bequest he may have bequeathed or a debt. Your parents or your children, you know not which of them is the nearer to you in benefit. This is an ordinance from Allah. Allah is surely ever known wise. And yours is half of what your wives leave if they have no child. But if they have a child, your share is 1/4 of what they leave after payment of any bequest they may have bequeathed or debt, and theirs is the 1/4 of what you leave if you have no child. But if you have a child, Their share is the eighth of what you leave after payment of a bequest you may have bequeathed or a debt. And if a man or a woman having no children leaves property to be inherited, and he or she has a brother or a sister, then for each of them is the sixth. But if they are more than that, they shall be sharers in the third payment. No, excuse me. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. They shall be sharers in the third after payment of a bequest that may have been bequeathed, or a debt not injuring others. This is an ordinance from Allah, and Allah's knowing forbearing. These are Allah's limits, and whoever obeys Allah and His Messenger, He will admit him to gardens wherein flow rivers to abide in them. And this is the great achievement. And whoever disobeys Allah and His Messenger and goes beyond His limits, He will make him enter fire to abide in it. And for him is an abasing chastisement. I know it sounded choppy. I would have to go back and reread it a few more times. But I get the basics of it, but it's a lot. So don't come at me. But that's just something to think about. If people want to act like they're so religious, I don't claim to be religious. I'm spiritual. But I think that these texts give us a guide, for how to live our lives, They're suggestions too, And if I believe in God. I don't care what anybody says. I'm not a greedy person, so I have my own stuff. It's raggedy, but it's mine. And I have somewhere to lay my head, and that's all that matters to me right now. When I have money extra to do anything else, I'll do that. But I'm just thankful for that I'm a woman and I'm blessed, and God that allows me to take care of myself. And I pray for that, But it's just something to think about.